welcome back. Today it's all about primers.
We have 5 very different primers for you today.
And why do we use a primer? I mean, I just think, well, I used to think it's an extra step to our makeup regime, but the importance of a primer is never ending, isn't it?
Very important. Number 1, you can blot out those fine lines and wrinkles, you can minimize the pores, you can get rid of any discoloration or pigmentation on the skin, and it makes your makeup, your foundation, last all day. It gives you a beautiful, flawless finish.
Well, that's the point I like for me.
Yeah.
Because once I've got my makeup on, I don't want to go back to it.
No, you don't want to keep touching it up. You want it there for 12 hours until you remove it. And that's what primers do so well. Holds it onto the skin.
Yes, absolutely. So there are many different types of coloured primers. For darker skin, it would be a yellow or a peach. Yellow, which corrects hyperpigmentation and dark blemishes and dark spots. And then the peach is for under the eyes, perhaps, you know, the dark circles under the eyes. And that is better for dark, medium to dark complexion.
Yeah. And then for the fair skin, you would use either the green, the blue or the pink. So the green, that helps to diminish sunburn, any broken capillaries. A lot of fair skin have the little broken capillaries. Yeah. And if you have any acne or if you have redness due to rosacea, then you go on to the blue, which corrects the sallowness and yellowness in your skin. If that's your undertone, you can actually correct that. And then onto the pink, which is the opposite for a fair skin, because that's great for the dark circles under the eyes. And it also helps to the dullness and the blue veins. Again, that's for the fair skin, unlike the peach for the dark.
So how to use it? Basically, you just cleanse, tone and moisturize. Apply the primer before the foundation. Very simple, and just another step in your makeup skincare regime.
But always apply the primer after your moisturiser. Never use it as a substitute.
No.
It's moisturiser first. Hydrate that skin. Even though there are some primers which have hydrators in them, please use a moisturiser. The best way to apply it is start off using it sparingly. So you start at the T-zone, dot it on very, very gently and start to spread out.
But you only need a pea size.
You do. And if you feel, I would always go in, carefully. And if you feel you need to add a little bit extra, add a little bit extra. It's always easier to add rather than try to remove.
And then once the primer has set, then you apply your foundation and carry on with your makeup as you would normally.
Now we have a few interesting ones here, because one of Shilpa's ones that she's going to show you today, you put on after your foundation. So stay tuned for that one. It's really interesting.
Well, I'm excited to see the green.
Now the green is fascinating because I split my face in two today. On this side I have green and this side I have normal, because I do have quite a lot of little red broken capillaries. So I put it on, I thought, oh, that's quite good. Now I put on my foundation and I thought, that's still actually quite good. So then I thought, well, because I know it's on my face, I need to get a second opinion. So my daughter got called into the bathroom. Which side looks less red on my face? And instantly she identified which side had the green on. This side has the green corrector, this side doesn't. So it works. So the green corrector I used today was the number 7, and here it is here, the Airbrush Away, the Colour Balancing Primer. Now this one here is, well, it does work clearly. So this is what it looks like. So it is actually very, very green. I felt it was quite runny. Shilpa, I think you'd have to be a little bit careful. There might be a tendency to squeeze out too much out of the tube.
Yes.
So really be very careful, just dot this on.
Yeah, it's very, very lightweight as well.
It's very lightweight. I mean, it does glide on beautifully. It's a lovely product. Again, it would cover the capillaries and a perfect makeup base. Number 7, say that this will hold your foundation on for 12 hours, which is great. So I like this, but be very, very careful because it is quite runny. Don't overuse it, but it works. It's £16.50 from number 7. You can get less expensive ones, and again, if you only have redness in a certain area, just use it over the redness. I'm quite red all over, so I did this side of my face with the green corrector.
And of course, for the rest of the face, you just use a non-coloured primer.
Yes, absolutely.
So here's mine, Radiant Boost by Kiko, made in Italy. It's a brightening and perfecting face primer. So I have it on this side of the face, and I have my special surprise one on this side of the face.
Coming later.
Yes. This is very easy to apply because it's got the little nozzle there. Just drop it onto your skin, and then that's literally all you need.
And that text is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the idea that you've got the nozzle, that fine nozzle, that stops too much coming out. I seem to have a nice big hole. I prefer a nozzle.
Nozzle. For me, it's lovely because it's a lightweight primer, and it goes on all over the face and sets beautifully. I've actually worn it on its own with a bit of bronzer, so you can do that as well.
So here we have the e.l.f, the Poreless Putty Primer, which is £9. This is superb. It really does give you a flawless finish. It holds the makeup on all day long. It fills up those fine lines and wrinkles. It minimises the pores. The hydration is wonderful because it contains squalane, and it also has green tea. So you kind of feel this is almost good for your skin. See this here? It's just, the texture is superb. You need to warm, it is really like putty. You need to warm this up in your fingers, and then again from the T-zone start to spread out. It is beautiful. Once you put this on, your skin feels like cashmere. It's fabulous, and you almost don't want to put on your foundation.
It's on that side, isn't it?
It's on this side today.
So when I saw Teresa first today, I said I liked that side.
Yeah, that was your favourite side. Because it is a beautiful primer.
And I didn't know which of the two was on that
you
side.
didn't know, because I asked Shilpa when she came in which side looks better, and she identified the putty, the e.l.f. putty. This is great for all skin types, and it really does hold the makeup on, and it goes on effortlessly. It's really like silk. It's beautiful. Love this, love this. I think this is probably my favourite primer at the moment. Also, another good thing about this, once it's warmed up in the hands, you can use this as an eye primer.
Amazing.
So you don't have to have another product for your eyes. You just pat this over the eyes, and your eyes are primed too. How good is that?
When you use an I know from experience, an eye primer literally sets the eyeshadow, and it does not move all day. So that would be interesting. I'd like to try that.
Try this as an eye primer, because I find a lot of eye primers are quite thick and heavy, and this one is just superb. I mean, feel that, Shilpa. Pop your little finger in there. And just that texture is
it's
unbelievable for £9. Now, e.l.f. also sell a brush for £6 that you can apply the primer with. But I think I like that aesthetic feeling. I like to
use my ring finger.
and fingers on the skin. And then you know you can just smooth it out so beautifully.
So my next one is the surprise product, and that is applied on this side of the face, and it's called the Nano Blur by Indeed. This is £20, and this is interesting because it blurs out all imperfections. It leaves your skin beautiful and radiant, as do most of the primers. However, this has the key ingredient of the Nano Optic Prism Complex, so that gives you a little bit more elasticity and leaves the skin blemish free. It also hides all the little wrinkles and crow's feet. So I'm loving this. When I first applied it, because you can apply it before your makeup, before your foundation, and after, and today we decided I would use it on after I've applied my foundation. And as I was applying it, I felt like it was disturbing the foundation. So I wasn't very sure about it. But actually, I think it's very good.
Yeah, that happened to me when I applied that over my foundation a few days ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this just doesn't feel right. But when it's settled, it was lovely.
Yeah,
but would you use that? You know, you said you can use it before foundation.
Yes.
So you would use that before foundation if you weren't going to wear foundation. That's just for a nice, flawless, natural look without makeup on. All right.
And again, pea-sized amount, and it's the nozzle. It comes out quite nicely. It's not too runny.
Nice.
The texture is lovely.
Yeah, I like that texture.
It's like a moisturising
Yeah, it
cream.
is. It's a lovely texture.
It's for dry skin types, or those wanting, you know, to
a dewy look.
And I like the dewy look.
I like the dewy look. It's lovely.
So I love it.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the coverage is great, and it sets beautifully. And actually, like I said, on top of foundation, it has set my makeup nicely.
It has, and it's set it beautifully. Yeah.
Which
Comments
side do
below.
you like?
And actually, it'd be really interesting to hear which primers you like best, because NYX do a great collection of coloured correcting primers, and they're only about £10 each.
Yes.
So we'd love to hear what you're using, because if there's anything you're loving, we're going to try it out. So just before we go, we can't leave you without mentioning the Ordinary High Spreadability Fluid Primer. And this is only £5.50. A great little one with this high flexibility silicones in it to get that lovely smooth finish. And for £5.50, it does work. Now I'm going to pop a bit of this on you. Let me know what you think of that.
Oh.
The Ordinary do lovely products and cheap as chips. And it does
like
work.
A serum.
It is. It feels like a serum, but it's hydrating.
And it absorbs very quickly.
Yeah. But then you're left with that lovely film.
Lovely. I wouldn't want to put makeup on that.
No, it just feels, again, like silk. It has it's a beautiful formula. And for that price, you really can't go wrong. It's lightweight, hydrating, just sits on the skin. Foundation goes over. The only thing with this, be careful, because it does spread really, really well, so you don't need an awful lot of it. So we love this too. That's a great one. So when you're going to choose your primers, think about your skin type. If it's very dry or mature, you're going to have to look for those ingredients that are going to help with hydration. And always figure out what your needs are, whether it's colour correcting, pore minimising, oily skin, or for dry skin, and then go ahead and get your lovely primer. But really always wear a primer if you're going to be wearing foundation. And
I think it's a good idea to buy a non-coloured primer, and then the coloured for your particular
specific areas. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Please remember to share us with your friends and family, and
subscribe and ring that bell, please. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll see you the next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.